Let's make 3 easy salsas. All right, welcome to Kitchen Captain. I'm Ian Walsh, and today we're gonna do 3 easy salsas. Classic Pico de Gallo, Salsa Verde, and a roasted tomato salsa. Let's go. First to bat is gonna be our Salsa Verde. Let's get all our tomatillos out. Gonna line this in foil. Probably annoyingly loud in the microphone. Salsa Verde ingredients are ready for liftoff. Tomatillos can just go right in half. And if you have any sort of OCD, feel free to line them up accordingly in your sheet pan. And we're using about 1.5 pounds of tomatillos. Jalapeños right in half, and we'll take 1 serrano. And we're gonna de-seed these, so take a spoon. One of my brothers is gonna be enjoying this salsa, and he doesn't like super spicy. If you want it hotter, just leave all this in there. You know what we didn't do? Put your oven on broil, so you don't cut it all and twiddle your thumbs while your oven gets hot. There's mistake 1 for our salsa expedition here, but we're learning with you. Okay, onto our serranos. And if your fingers are like mine and they seem to always find an itchy eye after you fondle some hot peppers, keep that in mind, because contrary to popular belief, spicy peppers are not easy on the eyes. 1 medium-ish white onion. No need to be pretty with all these cuts either. I'm excited to try all of these because I'm very biased towards Salsa Verde.
Love the tang
that you get from tomatillos. Okay, broiler's on high. Open this thing up and get our rack onto the highest setting in there. Hot eyebrows. And then we're gonna pay attention to this for about 10 minutes. Maybe 12 if you have a slow oven like mine, maybe 6 if you have a really good oven. But we want them charred all over, and we want the tomatillos to be tender. Hot, should have known that. We're gonna take these out and give them a quick flip. You don't really need to do this if you don't want. I think you can probably get away with it if you just let them char a little bit longer, but I'm gonna try to get a tan on the top and bottom of these guys. Onions need a little longer. Slow monitor, don't get distracted. Don't go for a quick jog while this thing's on broil. Pay attention. When that char gets to where you want it, take them out, because they'll go from charred to just complete disaster pretty quickly. That top rack makes it pretty challenging to see what you're burning and what you're charring. My smell senses are telling me that it's doing both of those things, charring and possibly burning. I think my onions are close. We're getting wiser every time we open that. Everything in the blender. Do not ditch the juice from these tomatillos. We're gonna get every bit of that into here. And this Salsa Verde, we're not gonna use any lime because the tomatillos are acidic themselves and they have a good tang. We don't need that lime like the other salsas with the red tomatoes. It's gotta be a better way to do this. Get up, there we go. Now we're talking. Get all that good sauce. A little bit of salt, a lot of bit of salt, because you need this thing to be well seasoned. Cilantro, you can take all the leaves and the small stems. These big, thick boys you can leave behind. And we're gonna save some cilantro after to add to it. Okay, this thing's on, doing this backwards. Okay, it's a lot harder to read the instructions from this way. Let's give this a check. That looks pretty good, except it's scalding hot, but we will taste it, see if we need more salt. No, I think we're good. We'll give this just a little bit of a chop and then add this in. Top 1 snacks for me, chips and salsa. I have one of those common problems where you open a bag of chips with fresh salsa and get right through the entire bag. I think we're ready to go. I'm just gonna fold the cilantro straight into the bowl. And get a spatula in there. We didn't go through all that effort for the sink to get this salsa. And this is still a bit warm, so after we fold the cilantro in, we'll just let it cool. Okay, there we go. Salsa Verde done. We're on to the next. We have the roasted tomato salsa. We need 1 pound of Roma tomatoes. We can trim the heads off these, and that'll go into our garbage. Compost, not garbage. And same thing, we're gonna take our sheet pan, foil this thing as loud as we can. Very similar to our tomatillo salsa. Gonna lay these out, and this one we're gonna use 1/2 of a white onion. Now we're gonna quarter our 1/2 medium white onion, jalapeno right in half, So again, if you want it hotter, leave these seeds in there or add more peppers. I find serrano peppers to be a little bit spicier, so add those instead. And then 2 cloves of garlic. That was kind of a weak, small clove, so let's get over to the good cloves. Just chuck this whole sheet pan right under the broiler. I always put the trash wherever the garlic should go. Twice. I put the trash on the sheet pan and then I chuck the clove into the trash bowl. Okay, as I was saying, we're gonna put this whole sheet pan right into the oven under the broiler for 10 to 12 minutes, and we're gonna get a good char on these tomatoes. I'm gonna add 1 more jalapeno. Good, colorful, and we're de-seeding them to take a little of the fire out of there. Use them if you got them. One more note before these go in, we're gonna put them cut side up and then give them a little pinch of salt onto each. Okay, now I think we're ready. Into the broiler we go. This is gonna take maybe a little bit longer than the Salsa Verde because these are some big dogs. 12, 15 and a quarter, who knows, 16 maybe minutes, and we should be good. About halfway through, we're gonna check on our peppers, give them a little flip. Garlics are done, so those are coming out. And if you don't wanna just scorch earth your garlic, leave the skins on when you put them in there. Wow, that was hot on my palm. Wow, that was hot. Burn your palm. Skins on the garlic if you don't want to burn them faster, and then you just de-skin them when you take them out. That's gonna leave a mark. The one day we're broiling everything, we're using a soggy rag. We're not afraid of a little adversity in the kitchen. Roasted tomatoes, done into our blender. Goes our jalapenos and garlic. Take this hot sheet pan. We're gonna dance around, get our onions in there. Try to get our onions in there. Tomatoes in. Any remaining juice, get it. Steamy. Give that a little bit more. Okay, let's get this into our bowl. We're gonna chop up some cilantro. Also need our lime. About a half a lime is fine. Add most of our cilantro. Save a little bit to make this thing pretty. Salt to taste. We're gonna fold this all in. And we're gonna add just a little bit of sugar. Give that a fold in. And we're gonna chuck this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. There you go. Roasted tomato salsa. On to the finale, the Pico de Gallo. Let's start with our onion. We're gonna use a half of a white onion. We're not trying to make an Everest-sized mountain of Pico de Gallo. Gonna get my trusty dough scraper for this. What do I keep doing with that spoon? I'm gonna go through my entire arsenal of spoons here. I don't know what I keep doing with them. Jalapeno, just gonna take the center out, and the other one we're not, because I want a little bit of heat. This might even be more high risk than the other salsas on the eyes because you're really getting into these peppers. Now this next jalapeno, dice it up and keep it on the side. So after we mix it and let everything get incorporated, if we want more heat, we'll add it then. If we don't want more heat, we'll chuck this in an omelet tomorrow. Lime, 1 whole lime. Juice it however you see fit. Don't knock that off the table. And we're gonna add our salt and just give this a stir. While we cut everything else, this will start kind of marinating. That was a fail. Aimed for the sink, made the floor. Okay, onto our tomatoes. Dice them up however you see fit. Also a great test of your knife's sharpness. Okay, last up, cilantro. Ooh, that's looking very colorful. I'm gonna add a little more heat. Good. Let's get this into our last little bowl here. There we go. The third and final piece to our salsa trifecta, fresh Pico de Gallo. We did the Salsa Verde first, the roasted tomato salsa second, the Pico de Gallo third. Let's try them in no such order. Delicious. Good thick with 2 C's texture too. Look at that, not even falling off. That's good. Okay, Salsa Verde. Tomatillos just, they hit the soul a little different. I mean, if you like all things
tangy like me,
good old-fashioned Pico de Gallo. The lower level there, you get down into that juice. That was a different ballpark. good. I don't know. A little quickie into that one. Quickie into that one. Tomatillo. Salsa Verde for me is the winner. All three of them are pretty damn easy if you're just making one of them. If you want to make all three, it's a bit more of an undertaking, but it's really not that difficult. All of them are delicious. There you go. Pico de Gallo, Salsa Verde, roasted tomato salsa. Thanks for watching. Tomatillos, very high in pectin, made that thing pretty thick. Talk to me about that pectin. That's some pectin.